What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Anthony with the Wrenched Out Garage. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to change it up a little bit. I've got a surprise for you. Another vehicle that we're adding to the Wrenched Out Garage. This one we're actually adding into the inventory, or this will be driven. I actually, once I get this thing road ready, we'll actually probably do some videos in it about it. We've got some installs coming to it and much more. I'll show you that here in a moment. But if you guys have not subscribed, consider doing that. Changed up the camera. Tell me what you guys think. Switched over to the GoPro Hero 7 Black. We're gonna try this instead of using the DSLR to just change things up. So without further ado, let me show you guys the newest addition to the garage. The garage is packed. I'll talk you through some of the things that we're gonna do to it. But first, let me just show you what we got. So right in front of us, this is, that's right, 1986 Nissan pickup truck. This is two-wheel drive. There's some of the auction stuff I got. It is two-wheel drive. Look at the interior on this guy. Looks really good. It's got less than 100,000 miles. It's got like 99,000 miles. I did do some cleaning up. The cleaning portion of this is not done yet, but if you take a look, it's pretty good. So I'll show you the back. Again, it is two-wheel drive. It did come with a camper top. I did remove the camper top for now because I wanted to see better into the bed. Sprayed out the bed. This thing does need to be detail cleaned more. Let me show you the back. Show you the sides. Again, this side. There it is over there. Fits in the garage nicely. So a couple of things with this specific truck. I got this on the borderline of it being a deal. I think it was a good deal, especially if I threw the topper back on it. I could have flipped this thing as is. We'll get into that stuff later. Essentially, I paid 800 bucks for this thing. Runs and drives perfect. It was owned by an older guy, retired military dude that parked it here in the summers, I think for like 20 years. And he paid this company to park it in the winter at their lot, and that's what he did. And this year, unfortunately, I don't know this guy at all, but unfortunately, he decided to let the truck go because he's not going to be able to make it back to Alaska because of health reasons and whatnot. But here's a couple of cool things. Obviously, there is, if you look right here, a little bit of damage. Fender's a little bit bent. There's a very little bit of rust around it. I do have, so some of the things we're going to do up front, and I'll do videos on them, are pretty simple. I'm going to do a little bit more thorough kind of engine cleaning and degreasing, something that I do with all the vehicles that I buy. So I'll show you guys how I do it. I already did spray down the engine, but I'll show you kind of in detail the route that I always go whenever I get a used vehicle, or if I'm going to clean out one of my own personal vehicles, on how I do it. I'll do a video just on that so you guys can see it. So obviously that still needs to happen. I do need to continue doing kind of a detail clean on this thing. I was actually need to get some of that Goo Gone stuff to get this off because it's blasted on there. I will finish cleaning the interior. Seats haven't been cleaned yet. This is all natural there. Under the seats need to be cleaned. And then I need to go back over all of this, but this came out really nice. So not a whole lot going on in the interior as far as the upgrades go. A couple of things that I will be doing is the stereo needs to be replaced because it doesn't work in its cassette player. I'm not going to use a cassette player. The other thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to swap the standard Nissan steering wheel. Doesn't look bad, but I'm going to try to put on a Grant Racing steering wheel. So that's the upgrades there. Oh, it does have a sunroof as well. So stereo, upgrade the speakers, new steering wheel. That's all I'm going to do at this time for the interior. In fact, I got some parts on order. I do got to finish cleaning these, cleaning this off. So I'll take this off. I ended up snapping this on purpose. Getting this off. The other side was already broken. I do have replacement rain guards coming in. the trim needs to be refinished. So I'm going to refinish the trim, refinish the wipers right here. So these will get cleaned, scraped. Well, these are already pretty scraped, but hit them with a pad there, get them scuffed up a little bit, and then paint it with some trim paint here, here, and then up here on the sunroof. And then another thing, so I actually, while I'm talking about this, and I'll show you guys this in a different video as well. So I got these Nissan wheels, and if you look at these things are pretty close to new. The only problem is there is some chipping on the edges. So I'm gonna clean these up. I'm gonna Brillo the edges and, you know, scuff the front a little bit there. And then we'll be painting these and switching them over to those tires. So the tires do have probably another year left in them, so I'm going to just run with those, paint these, throw them on there. So that's another part of the project. Bumper's going to go, and I've got a lot of other things. Really, my goal with this truck, and I thought about this a lot since I picked it up a few days ago, is what do I want to do with it? Okay, so the hard bodies are known for lowriders and show trucks. They're just known for them. They're pretty much the perfect thing to drop and lay down on the ground. I don't want to do that, at least at this time. What I do want to do, and I thought it would be kind of a cool and interesting way to do it, is what if I can make this 86, because it's only got 99,000 models. What if I could clean this thing up? Not perfect by any means, but what if I could add some functionality to compete with a nowadays truck, a current truck? So, you know, I've got the Silverado back there. Right now I'm averaging about 22 miles to the gallon. So can I get in the mid to high 20s in this truck? I should be able to. It's rear wheel drive, 2.4 liter Nissan Z motor, or Z, what is it? Z41, or Z21 motor. So I should be able to get mid 20s with it. Can I make those wheels and the tires look decent? Can I get the stereo up and going to where it's at least decent? And then can I maybe do some upgrades to the bed, a few upgrades to maybe the lighting, maybe the grill, and that stuff? Can I bring this thing up to essentially what you would see if this truck was, you know, 30 years newer? That is kind of what the challenge I am going to pose. So obviously I've got some cleanup work to do. Like I said, I still got to clean out the engine bay, or I'd like to clean out the engine bay fully. It does run really well. I will be talking to you guys and showing you guys, because over in that box over there where you see right next to the camera, I do have tune-up parts. I'm gonna do a full tune-up on this. So oil change, I already threw the air filter in, but oil change, fuel filter, cap rotor, spark plug wires, and then in the future I'll check out the rear end and probably change the fluid there. So we'll get a full tune-up. But first I'm going to clean the engine bay. So clean the engine bay, tune up, clean some of this trim up, and it's probably not going to be in this order. Clean some of the trim up, black it out, and get rid of the peeling and all that stuff, at least the best that I can. And then switch the tires, do some bed stuff, maybe some lighting stuff, front and rear. But can I make this 86 hard body not compete in the sense of all of the technology upgrades, because clearly I can't do that, but could this truck stand on its own in today's times? Now, obviously I've got some big disadvantages that I'm not sure how to overcome, like the braking system, rear drum, front rotor on it. I tried to find performance rotors already, couldn't do that, but we'll see what we can do. But really, for the most part, what I'm going for is cleanliness, utility purpose, and drivability. We'll just call it those three, and that's what I'm going to focus on as far as trying to get this closer to that instead of being your just standard 80s vehicle, you know. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a cool idea. We'll see what happens. Again, this thing drives really well. It's got the good old 5-speed in it. Shifts good. Shifts nice and strong. Everything's clean over there. Not a nick. None of the glass is damaged at all, which is huge. So I think there's a good possibility that this could work. I also think it's just a cool project because this truck will be my summer driver when I have to go to Anchorage and back, and I don't have to bring passengers and I don't have to do anything. So that is the goal for this one. I will do some updates about some of the other vehicles that you guys saw in some of the previous episodes, where they are, what's going on with those as well. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are out riding or driving, do it safely. What do you guys think of the Nissan, the 86 hard body D21? What do you guys think of this? It's going to be a fun project because there's a lot of off-the-wall stuff I will do in the future. But right now, again, I feel like it'd be kind of a cool deal to try to get it to today's standards. Don't forget, hit subscribe. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. I will have install videos, cleaning videos, so forth and so on coming to this. Still have a lot of stuff going on with all the other vehicles and so much more here at the Wrenched Out Garage. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and we'll catch up with you later.